So once again, the lovely people at Lionsgate have sent me a DVD copy of the forthcoming release of Swiss Army Man, starring Paul Dano, however you pronounce it, and Daniel Radcliffe, and also Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The film is released on DVD and Blu-ray this Monday. That's Monday the 10th of April. What's it like though? Well, the film, I've got to say, is a weird one. If you don't know anything about this film and you go into it, you seriously need to prepare yourself. This definitely isn't for everyone. It's not entirely for me, to be honest. A lot of the elements in it don't really kind of sit all that well with me, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate it from a filmmaking standpoint. I think from a visual standpoint, some of the things, the tricks, the gags they get away with are pretty inventive, pretty creative. Also the special effects that they use here, they came up with this kind of lifelike, bizarrely, corpse of Daniel Radcliffe. It looks very real, and they get away with some, like I say, pretty twisted stuff with it. The story, though, of this young man who is seemingly trapped on an island and then uses the flatulence of this corpse to escape from the island, but then ends up stuck in this forest somewhere, and it's bizarre. Yeah, so it's this guy and a corpse in a forest for pretty much most of the movie, and this guy ends up talking to this corpse, and the corpse ends up talking back. Now, I won't give any more than that, but suffice to say, it's a pretty surreal film. Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe both give excellent performances. Now, you'd think it'd be quite odd for someone who's just playing a dead man to give a good performance, but to be in some of these scenes and kind of do nothing actually requires quite a bit of talent, and a talent I really didn't give Daniel Radcliffe the credit for many years ago. When you look at those initial Harry Potter actors, the three leads, of those three, I'd have thought the guy who played Ron would have been the one to go off and have a career and kind of leave the other two behind, particularly Daniel Radcliffe. But this guy has really surprised me over the past few years. It started with Woman in Black, but since then every role he's taken on has been somewhat different from the last, and he really stretches himself. So yeah, credit to the guy. Like I say though, the story itself, for me personally, does have some problems, in that it is essentially a love story between these two men, one of whom is dead. So on multiple levels, that becomes complicated, you know, particularly the whole dead man part. You know, you're asking too much of me there as an audience member. I don't want to buy into a romance between an alive man and a dead man. That, on every single level, is just wrong. So yeah, I have trouble with that. I have trouble engaging with that element of the film, and seeing as it's kind of built on that, it gets a bit too much for me to take on, to be honest. But like I say, the film does have humour. It has many moments in it that kind of do make me laugh just because of the sheer bizarre nature of it. I would give it a 3 out of 5, but yeah, this really is a film that hangs on whether or not you can buy that central conceit, and for me, I struggle with it, but I will accept that, you know, this is a highly inventive, highly creative movie. So there you go. As this is on DVD and Blu-ray, what about the special features? Well, there's quite a host of them, to be honest, from deleted scenes, which are kind of those deleted scenes where I'm kind of happy they put them on there. There's a small range of them, but one of them in particular, the standout, is a scene with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Towards the end of the film, she has this child, and it's more of a behind the scenes kind of thing, really, but you see the things in between the shots in which Mary Elizabeth Winstead is trying to coax a performance out of this child. So she keeps on giving this child a line and the right tempo to go at, and like, yeah, they say don't work with children and animals. So yeah, seeing just what it takes to get the right response out of this child is quite amusing, to be honest. If you're interested in sound design, there is a very long interview on here, an hour long interview with the sound mixer and the two directors, of course. But the best part of that for me was when they show a comparison. They take this one scene and they show it you with just the ADR, so the dialogue that has been put in afterwards, but with no other sounds. And then they show it you again with all the sound that this guy, this sound mixer designer has come up with. So it really goes to some length to show you just what impact sound design can have on a film, and how it can really make a film like this, which is very low budget, independent film, and make it seem much bigger, much grander, and much more expensive. There's also a really good director's commentary on here, both directors on here chatting away about the making of the film, and they're quite fun to listen to be honest. You can tell these guys are friends, they have a bit of comic banter between them, and they also do give some nice facts out that you might not know about the film. For example, the cave in which the two men hide in at one point in the film is actually the Batcave from the 60s Batman show. So that was quite fun to find out. And also, during one of the scenes in which Daniel Radcliffe's character, shall we say, gets excited by a lads magazine, the particular picture of the woman in that lads magazine is actually a stock photo. So rather amusingly, this woman doesn't even know she's in this film. So yeah, I would imagine that'd be quite funny, seeing her reaction one day if she does ever happen to sit down and watch this. Add to that a couple of behind the scenes documentaries that go into some depth about the creative process on this film, and yeah, they're quite fun to watch. You can tell that the people making this film had a blast making it. So yeah, all in all, this is a really good package. The special features, I'd say, are definitely worth the package if you're a fan of the film. If you want to see a bit more about it, learn a bit more, then yeah, definitely worth picking up, I'd say. So there you go, that's my review of Swiss Army Man and its special features on the forthcoming DVD and Blu-ray release. Have you seen this film? And if so, please comment below and let me know what you thought about it. Until next time, cracking.